Yo, what is going on, you chewy choodle? Today, playing some games with the counter box, which has become a new archetype that a lot of people have been running recently. This is my current take on the build. I started with Gabriel Sameto's build that had like water energy and melanie in here, and I've kind of slowly made my way over to this build with Raihan and a couple more different attackers. Instead of being so focused on the Suicune, have a little bit more variety in the attacker. So let's talk about this deck real fast. The point of the deck, to try and counter the popular decks in the meta. Of course, Mew VMAX, the most popular deck in the meta. So we've got quite a few dark attackers in here. Three of them Moltres V, which is our main attacker. One of our main attackers in any matchup. Our main attacker in the Mew VMAX matchup with a Hoopa in here, which is really good at KOing Meloetas or Sobbles, or kind of just like small things early on. And then we also have a Moltres in here with the Malevolent Charge and the Fire Wrath as kind of a late game attacker. Good against Single Strike, really good against Single Strike in the late game, really good against Mew, you know, past that like 3 prize. After they've drawn like 3 prize cards, the Moltres is pretty good in that matchup as well. A couple other attackers, 2 Galarian Zapdos V. This is really good against Jolteon, of course. It's our main attacker against the Jolteon matchup. The second most popular deck, pretty consistently the second most popular deck in the meta. So we're countering 2 of the most popular decks that way. We have a Hoopa V in here for the Rapid Strike Urshifu matchup because it is Psychic type. As well as Dark type, so it can 1-hit KO Rapid Strike Urshifus, also 1-hit KO Single Strike Urshifus, Single Strike Urshifu VMAX. We also have the Articuno in here, which is part of kind of our draw engine, but I also sometimes do attack with the Articuno V as well, specifically up against the Single Strike matchup, KOing those Single Strike Urshifu Vs. Very useful to have this for that. And then kind of the neutral attacker in the deck, good against potentially anything and everything, is just Suicune. There's also just 2 Suicunes in here. Like I said, started out with Gabriel Sameto's build, who had a ton of Suicunes in here. 4 Suicune, Water Energy, and Melanies. I've kind of switched over to this more dark-centered build as I've been testing with the counterbox deck. Down to just 2 Suicune in here, but still have some in here to be able to attack with. Just get like kind of just a good attacker against pretty much anything. Really good against Single Strike actually as well, especially once you get that Cape of Toughness on the Suicune. A lot of Single Strike players aren't playing tool removal right now because Zacian and Suicune aren't really that popular, so the Capes of Toughness aren't really that big of a deal. So yeah, really good against Single Strike to get the Cape on a Suicune against a Single Strike. That's all of our attackers, what they're good against, and any other matchup we would run into, we could usually piece together weird attacks often enough where we can get dubs as well. So anything that's not super popular in the meta, we don't just kind of auto lose to. We just have to kind of piece stuff together a little bit more, you know, here and there. Depends what we draw into, depends what we get, depends what we can throw together. Have less of a game plan, I guess, against it overall. As far as the draw engine goes, I talked about the Articuno V. Discards 2 cards from our hands. It draws a card, so that combos with our Rotom Phone. It also combos with the 4 Rose Tower that we play to try and keep Path to the Peak out of play, especially up against that Jolteon matchup. So Reconstitute combos with the Rose Tower, or combos with the Rotom Phone. It discards dead cards. It draws a card. We have 2 Crobat in here, alongside, of course, 3 Marnie and 4 Research for some draw supporters. And then we also have a Primate Wisdom Oranguru in here, because depending on the matchup, we know what we want to set up and go for, and we don't go for the other attackers, and we have plenty of bench space to work with, actually. So the Oranguru, plenty of room for the Oranguru on the bench throughout the game, so we play one of those in here. Primate Wisdom is always great if you can include it in your deck. Really, that usually just comes down to, do you have bench space to make the Oranguru work? Besides the Marnies and the Researchers, and of course we do play Boss's Orders, we have a couple Raihan in here to help us accelerate energy into play throughout a game, and also find any missing pieces we might need for some kind of combo. Maybe it's a cape to protect us, maybe it's an energy switch to move our energy around and set up a big attack for the turn. Whatever it might be, Raihan gets it when we need it. And we also do have these energy searches in here, which is really great at helping us set up whatever attacker we want to set up through accelerating energy into play with the Galarian Moltres V, with the Dire Flame Wings, and then moving it to wherever we might need the energy instead. So we can attack like turn 1 with Suicune, or we can get a Zapdos with 3 energy in play on a turn when it had 0 energy and it wasn't even in play, stuff like that. And we can also even E-switch with the Malevolent Charge off of the Galarian Moltres, another combo we can do, which can come up under, like, if we're stuck under Path to the Peak up against Jolteon, we get energy in play with the Moltres and Malevolent Charge, and then E-switch it off to something like a Zapdos potentially. So there's cute little plays like that that can be done. And that's the list. Huge shout out to Full Grip Games. Of course, if you guys need any cards or any codes, go check them out. FullGripGames.com and FullGripCodes.com. And also, if you guys have any extra cards laying around that you want to get rid of and get some money for, you can sell your cards over to Full Grip. Go check that out at FullGripGames.com. Check out their buy list. Check out their bulk buying as well. They are buying bulk. So go sell your cards to Full Grip and get some cash. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like. If you're enjoying the content and you're new here, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell. And let's get into some games. All right, getting into it, we are going second, but there are quite a few opportunities for us to take advantage of when we do go second with this deck. We actually opened up the Articuno V here, or a couple options. I'm going to open up with the Articuno V, and we do have the Hoopa in the hand, so turn 1 Hoopa attack is one of those early options that we can definitely try and take advantage of. We are up against a Suicune deck, though. Not really a deck we're trying to hit with turn 1 with Hoopa, but we might actually still just go for it here, because we're probably not going to be able to get a 1-hit KO with something like our own Suicune anyways. So we probably will look for an attack with the Hoopa here, off the rip, and just start swinging. I mean, we'll see fully what they're playing here. Looks like it is maybe a classic Suicune Inteleon. I guess we don't know if they play the Ludicolo or not yet. We're still waiting to see, I guess, on that. Yeah, do they have Ludicolo or not? Don't know this turn, I guess. We won't figure it out this turn. Could have it, they might not. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and attack with Hoopa here, I think. Just get a hit in, maybe try and follow up with a Suicune knockout on the following turn, and then just kind of go from there. Throws the Rose Tower, bench Hoop, bench Moltres, attach the cape to Moltres, attach the Hoop, go ahead and Rose Tower for 1. Found our Oranguru, definitely gonna throw that down, and then go ahead and research, try and find ourselves a switch card, and just get a hit with Hoopa here. Did not find exactly what we were looking for. I think I might... What am I starting with here? All right. I actually don't know what I want to start with here. We're definitely going to do this. I'm just going to do this while I'm thinking. Just get that out of the way. Sometimes that helps to just start moving cards along to help the thought process from there. Going to go with the Rotom Phone. Did find the switch. Okay. And then I might just Primate Wisdom the Marnie on top to make sure we have a draw supporter to work with on the next turn. And then we're not going to end up using the Reconstitute, but that's fine. And just go with the Assault Gate. And we've set this thing up, set up the Suicune to either get knocked out by a Suicune, or we can actually just knock it out with the Aura Burn of our Moltres here. So we'll be able to knock that out on the next turn. Hopefully, no matter what. I'm trying to think if they have a cape. Yeah, we still be able to knock it out even if they get a cape here. And it looks like it is the Path of the Peak build, which means they don't play the Ludicolo. Or most likely don't play the Ludicolo. Usually when you see the Path of the Peak in the Suicune, they got like 3 or 4 of those, and the kind of one of the goals of the deck is trying to be as disruptive as possible. Crushing Hammers, maybe some Fan of Waves, and definitely Path of the Peaks, as that's kind of their almost primary win condition against the Mew VMAX deck, is just kind of throw Path of the Peak in play a lot. Just put it in play super often and kind of have that be kind of their main win condition. There's the Marnie for my opponent, so we're guaranteed to have a Marnie ourselves, and we got a Stadium, which is great here in the Rose Tower. So I'm gonna go ahead and send up the Moltres here because it does currently just get the knockout on the Suicune. So I think we're gonna play off that as much as possible here and be like, all right, we can get the knockout already, let's go for it then. Got the Aurora Energy as well, so we're gonna go with the Rose Tower. I might have to Aurora away that Quick Ball. I don't love the idea of that. Quick Balls are pretty good, and we could Rose Tower for 1 before I end up going with the Marnie. Don't really want to bench the other Moltres, so then we'll just go with the Marnie, see what we get, see what else we want to do from there. Got ourselves an Air Balloon, which I think I will put in play here on the Oranguru. Fire Flame Wings. Yeah, I don't want to bench too many Pokemon because then that'll help them do more damage with their Suicune, so we're kind of avoiding benching as many Pokemon as possible. And I'll throw something at Oranguru because we could actually get to the point. I'm gonna go ahead and once again Primate Wisdom the Marnie. I'm gonna save the Rotom Phone. Don't really need to use it right now. Go ahead and hold on to it. Once again, not gonna use Reconstitute, and then go ahead and burn again for 190. See, I haven't really been too aggressive using the Articuno, but when we're getting our energy in the discard pile and stuff like that, we don't really need to use it too aggressively, to be honest. Aurora Energy and the Research, 2 pretty good pulls off the prize cards there. Oh, it is an Ice Rider build. Okay, so they are playing Ice Rider Suicune. Okay, Ice Rider Suicune it is. They got the quick shooting set up. A little bit less scared of actually even getting attacked this turn then. So my prize cards could come from then 1 more KO or a KO on one of these 1 prize Pokemon, the quick shooting Inteleon, the Drizzile, whatever, and then a 2-hit KO on the Calyrex VMAX to kind of close it out. And that could be where our remaining 4 prize cards come from. Of course, we'll wait and see what our opponent ends up doing here. They got a Scoop Up Net and then Quick Balled it away. All right, interesting grab then off the Drizzile. They got themselves the Suicune. Oh, they're just kind of thinning out the deck. There's the Rose Tower use from them. And then here comes a quick shooting onto my Moltres. Said he have to be KO'd potentially by a Suicune or maybe the Ice Rider. And here comes a Melanie to follow that up. Melanie down to the Suicune. They could definitely get off an attack here still. Double cross switcher. Okay, so yeah, they can get an attack here onto my... And a Fan of Waves. Oh my gosh. They got a whole bunch of cards going on here. We can't one-hit KO their Suicune. We can just go ahead and punch it, though, with our Moltres. And I think that's what we're going to have to do here. I don't see another play really happening. Of course, we don't know if they might whiff the energy here, actually. They might not even be able to get a knock. And they do whiff the energy here. All right, perfect. I'm going to start with the Rotom Phone. I want that Quick Ball. I think I want to start... Oh, there's the switch as well. I really want to attach to... We have a lot of switch cards left. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Quick Ball here. And then... Yeah, we can reconstitute into it. Go ahead and Quick Ball away. Dark Energy. Gonna grab the Suicune. I'll be able to attach the... I really want to get the Aurora Energy down on my Suicune here. And get rid of the Articuno. Articuno can actually be an interesting attacker. Oh, we got this. Now to use for 2. Yeah, Articuno can be an interesting attacker on this matchup because they don't play a ton of switch cards, so we can hit the Ice Rider for 110 and confuse them and make it awkward for them to even be able to attack on the following turn. They should go with the Quick Ball. Once again, I don't want to bench too many Pokemon because we don't want my opponent to be able to take big knockouts potentially. I think I'm going to get rid of this Hoopa. I don't think the Hoopa is going to be very good. The rest of them seem a little bit better. Actually, I think maybe I like the Hoopa more. No, I think I like the Zapdos more than I like the Hoopa. It could attack for very few energy potentially later on. So yeah, thin out the Hoopa, get rid of that. Here we go. We got an E-Switch, and we got a Switch. We can actually attach with the Suicune, and we got a Cape for it as well. So I think that might be what I go for here. We have actually triple Energy Switch in our hand. That's a lot of Energy Switch. Yeah, fresh Cape here. E-Switch off here to the Suicune. I'm going to go ahead and hit their Suicune with my Suicune. Yeah, we're a little bit short from the knockout. Even if we had a full bench here, we'd be doing 200 damage total, which would be 10 damage off from KOing that Suicune. And I'm going to go ahead and Primate Wisdom. Probably Crobat here. Yeah, I'll put the Crobat on top. They do Marnius, maybe... Oh, well, Crobat for Crobat there. Oh, I forgot about my Fleet-Footed. Oh, big mistake there. Should have Fleet-Footed first. Would have Fleet-Footed into a Crobat, and then I could have Primate Wisdom one on top. I've been forgetting about that ability so much since I've been playing this deck. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I've been forgetting about it a ton. I really need to work on remembering my Fleet-Footeds. All right, Cape to their active here. We can just knock this out. They could get into their Calyrex VMAX, of course. If they do need a switch card to get there. I mean, we've seen double cross switcher, so I assume they play 4 of those, so they could be some kind of cross switcher combo. Or maybe they just go ahead and attack with the Suicune V as well. My opponent, in the same situation as me, though, they can't quite get the one-hit KO on my Suicune. I have the Cape. Even if they fill their bench and use the Quick Shooting, it would still be a little bit short. And actually a little bit more short on how much control they have over the damage. They only have 1 bench space open to work with, whereas I had 2. So I had a little bit more control over how much damage could be put into play. They're actually just setting up pings on my Moltres. Just trying to make sure I can't ever get... or they won't have to work for a 2-hit KO here. But now that they've used the research, they are lining up for a 2-hit KO here. Oh, but they grabbed the cross switcher. Let's see if they go with something with that. They could actually cross switcher and knock out my Oranguru. And then knock out 2 prizes from there and close out the game. So that's kind of scary, to be honest. Let's see if they go. Do they go for my Moltres, though? How much damage are they even going to do here, though? I'm not going to get that close to KOing it, I don't think. 160. I only have 40 HP left, actually, to be honest. So I'm getting KO'd pretty soon. And my hand is not great. So I'm going to go ahead and Primate Wisdom. I don't want to attack with my Moltres. I don't want to attack with Moltres. But I might have to. I'm going to go ahead and Primate Wisdom one of these energy switches for later. Got ourselves a boss. I'm going to go ahead and Quick Ball away the Crobat. Now shuffle my top deck and change it up. I'm going to go ahead and grab probably another Moltres V here. This has definitely made things very, very awkward. And I kind of want to go after this Quick Shooting Inteleon. I think we're going to go with that. I definitely have to retreat this. I can't afford... I could energy switch up to and attack with it, but then I have 10 HP left remaining on... So I think we're going to retreat to my Suicune. And I'm going to boss KO. So we're doing 160. Yeah, we're going to KO this one. We'll see where this goes from here. Get rid of the Quick Shooting Inteleon. Stop the pings, because that's how they're going to be able to actually, like, even up the prize trade at some point is through the pings. So we got to stop the Quick Shooting pings. And we could even go boss KO their next Quick Shooting Inteleon if they set one up on this Drizzile on the following turn, potentially. It's very possible they're in a situation where they can't attack with the Ice Rider as well, and might have to attack with their Suicune once again, which would definitely leave me in a pretty good spot if they are forced to attack with the Suicune here. The Suicune did come to the active here, and they do have the Air Balloon on the Ice Rider, so they could have sent that up and just kind of wait and see what their top deck was, and gone from there. But there's the setup from the Suicune. We love to see that. Here comes a Research, so no Melanie to the Ice Rider. Now that we took out that quick shooting, and we could, like I said, we could actually boss take out their next quick shooting and Inteleon, and we might even just go ahead and focus down. Let me see how many boss I have left here. Actually, I do have one boss left, so we might just go ahead and focus down this Drizzile just so it can't become a quick shooting Inteleon. But my opponent definitely not prioritizing. They just quick balled away an Evolution Incense, I think, there, so not even thinking about setting that up there, it seems like. So maybe I do just want to KO the active, and they just conceded. That's it. Maybe they had nothing else to work with after I took out their active there. Yeah, definitely KOing that quick shooting Inteleon there was a big deal. Super glad I went after that. Definitely set us up to be in a pretty good spot. And apparently it was a good enough spot where my opponent felt like they didn't have a chance to come back. Here we go again. This time we won the coin flip, so we will be going first. Get ourselves that advantage. The opening hand is a little bit rough, but we have that extra turn to work with because we are going first potentially. I mean, as long as our opponent's not playing something that can like attack on the first turn, then it would be a little bit scary to be honest. But as long as they're not playing something that can attack on the first turn, gonna be in a pretty good. Oh my gosh, Stonjourner. This is gonna be a bad one. This is definitely. Oh my gosh, 19 mulligans. Okay, we will draw 19 mulligans. And our hand has definitely improved quite a bit. Oh my gosh. That is a lot of mulligans. So we should swing hard and fast in this matchup. And with 19 mulligans, we can get that done. So I'm going to attach my Aurora Energy here to my Moltres. Discard a basic Dark. Accelerate with those Dire Flame Wings. And then I'm just going to pass because there's no reason for us to do anything else. Generally, also, Stonjourner does not play any hand disruption. They usually play stuff like Kabu and like Avery and the Adventurous Discovery, Insidious Resolve, stuff like that. So they usually don't play any hand disruption. There's the Kabu. Yes, they don't play any Marnie or anything like that. Judge, whatever. So we could probably just sit on this hand for the whole game. Really nothing stopping us from just sitting on this hand for the whole game. The question is just be like, what other attackers do I want to set up? And I think it's just going to be Moltres V's and maybe the Moltres itself at some point. But let me go ahead and find my quick ball. It's in here somewhere. Get rid of one of these researches because that's not happening anytime soon. Let me take a look. Ooh, the Psy-Ray on the Articuno could actually be pretty good. I don't think Zap Kick or Thunderous Kick from the Zapdos would be any good. So I think the Psy-Ray is actually going to be the move here. I'm going to go ahead and try and start to set up this. Get rid of that. Or do that to get rid of that. Fire Flame Wings again. And we're swinging. I don't really want to discard anything. So we're just going to chill. Orburn. Yeah, start to set up this Articuno V. Maybe even set up the other one, to be honest. But yeah, confusing them. Because, yeah, our opponent's win condition in this matchup is definitely to just draw kind of 6 prize cards against us. What did that just draw? Draw 2 cards. If your opponent has exactly 2, 4, or 6 prize cards remaining, draw 2 more cards. Oh, so it does draw 4 cards. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know it draw 4 cards. All right, we're gonna go ahead and confuse my opponent's Pokemon here. My opponent's Stonjourner here. Yeah, I just learned something. I just learned something. Big time. Move that back. I just want to save this other Aurora Energy for potentially some other plays. Once again, don't really have to do anything. I mean, we could do something, but they do 200 damage as well, right? Okay, so maybe I will just bench a Suicune. As they take knockouts, I could use the Fleet-Footed. Just go ahead and throw that down. They can't take a knockout. They could boss KO this, I guess. That would be kind of the fear. Maybe I should have looked for a cape for this, actually, to be honest. All right, Psy-Ray. Only 110 damage, but they're confused. And that's the big part, is they are confused, which means they can't consistently pull off attacks. Even actually the Stone Gift, they won't even be able to consistently use to heal their Stonjourner. I didn't actually even think about that, to be honest. And when I kind of came up with this idea in my head of using Psy-Ray, I was like, oh, Psy-Ray seems pretty good. But yeah, they are confused. So they can't actually even use Stone Gift consistently if they want to. They have to flip for the Stone Gift, which is a pretty big deal, I think. If you ask me, that's a pretty big deal. Something pretty big for us to take advantage of here. So I feel like, yeah, we're in a pretty good spot overall, I think, for sure. Now that they're confused, we're going to start hitting a little bit harder now. Retreat back into my Moltres. Use those Dire Flame Wings. And I do want to set up another Moltres. Don't need it this turn. I'm going to start to reestablish up this Articuno. And we're just gonna swing. We're not threatened by the Stonjourner being able to hit us with the max rockfall. They only have, you know, the one energy there, so they can't max rockfall for very much. They can't max rockfall for very much. Here comes another schoolgirl for 4. And yeah, more energy coming out of the training court, but they're confused, like I said. So that's all now we're gonna start hitting them hard. They're confused, start hitting them hard. And actually we have something that can hit a little bit harder than the Moltres eventually. They do have the Galarian Moltres, which we'll probably try and take advantage of at some point. And there's they're attempting. We have the Psy-Ray doing work. Guru in play seems pretty decent. Oops. Ooh, I didn't mean to put it in play. It didn't go in play, thankfully. I was like thinking about it. I was waving it around. E-Switch is probably the most useful card there. I'm gonna start to draw some cards with 3 Constitute. Like I said, they don't play any hand disruption, so we're kind of gonna sit here forever. Oh, I could have replaced my opponent's stadium, actually. I should have done that after I got the use out of it. Definitely a mistake there on my part. Just so many cards in the hand, so hard to keep up with everything. Let's go with another one here. I'm trying to find, there we go. The quick ball is what I would like. And I'm gonna go ahead and put back, probably the Hoopa. We might want the Hoopa at some point. I don't think we're gonna want the Hoopa, but we might. Definitely don't want this Hoopa. I do want to find another Moltres to have in play to constantly keep accelerating energy through the Dire Flame Wings. I don't want to put the Aurora energy on it, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it down. Just get in play, just in case they play Marnie. Like I said, they probably don't play Marnie. We're kind of playing like they don't have Marnie. But you never know when people are going to switch things up and play things a little bit differently than what we normally see. So yeah, just may as well play around it if we can. And we can. We have plenty of time here to play around potential Marnie from my opponent. I did put more Pokemon in play. I did kind of play into my opponent's Zinnia's Resolve there, which I do know is a card that they play. So maybe I could have played around that. More healing coming down. Double team Yell Towel. Actually, they can't even KO my Moltres now, even with that 3rd energy. Even if they get heads through the confusion with the Max Rockfall, they don't actually even KO my Moltres. They do get the heads. They're actually going with a Stone Gift, though. Healing more damage, but we're just going to keep putting the pressure on and hit again ourselves. No hit there. Once again, I think I'm going to try and just draw a card. We could Marnie. Marnie would actually be probably fine at this point, to be honest. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and Marnie my opponent here. Take away their hand. Maybe I should have done this sooner. Once again, first time playing the matchup, figuring it out. Definitely not playing perfectly, I'll tell you that much. But the Marnie feels pretty good there. Reset the hand. Hoop on away Hoop. Like I said, I don't think I need Hoopa. Definitely don't need Zapdos. Quick ball away the Zap. Grab nothing. I don't think I really want anything. I'm gonna hold the energy as well, even. Just draw a card, and then I'll probably just Prime my Wisdom, the energy, put that on top. That'd be a good draw. I guess I could attach. Now I see another energy. I kind of want to attach here, just have the other Moltres ready to go. And I don't want to commit too many energy to the Moltres, though, because the Moltres can kind of self-set themselves up through the Dire Flame Wing. So I don't want to put too many energy on my Moltres, like, ahead of time, because we have a lot of time, potentially, in this game to go through. Like, I want to make sure I can consistently attack with the Articuno, of course, stuff like that. But I think I could have been a little bit more aggressive. Like I was saying, I could have been a little bit more aggressive with my Marnie there a couple turns ago. Like, maybe even the turn I confused them, play the Marnie, take away their big hand, because they'd built up quite a hand by then themselves. So yeah, maybe I could have been a little bit more aggressive with the Marnie there. Boss on my Guru. That is annoying. Definitely want to find one of our switch cards to move that. Even could harder treat it, to be honest. We do have some energy switches left. So I'm going to go ahead and commit this here immediately and then go with the Rose Tower. I do not want to... Okay, we got the energy switch right there. Perfect. Go ahead and move this up to there. And harder treat back into the Moltres, and we can Dire Flame Wings. I don't want to put a Crobat in play. I don't want to use up my last bench base basically for nothing until I really need to dig for some more answers. Got another switch card just in case they boss my Guru again, and swing for 130. Yeah, we'll eventually get through their healing. They're down 2 Pop. They're down 3 Team Yell Towel. They got 3 Hyper Potions left, and here comes a Kabu, or 2 Hyper Potions left, actually. They did use one of those there. Yeah, 2 Hyper Potions left. So we're still in a pretty good spot, I feel like. Okay, another Training Court coming out. That's their 3rd, so they do have 1 left. But if it is prized, we actually have 0. But there's a Tails, so I think we just win. I think we got the dub here. Yeah, Psy-Ray insane in that matchup. Sometimes you attack with something you don't expect to attack with. Actually, the Articuno is pretty good up against the Urshifus in Single Strike, and sometimes Rapid Strike, not quite as good against Rapid Strike. But in single strike, sometimes they attack with just the Urshifu V single strike as their main attacker, just to trade back and forth 2-prizer for 2-prizer. So the Articuno can be pretty good in that matchup to just get a one-hit KO if they have a pretty small bench and Suicune can't quite get there, or they didn't put enough damage counters on the Urshifu for the Moltres to get there. Yeah, the Articuno can come in clutch, or apparently against Stonjourner, it is also pretty clutch there, and we walk away with the dub over our opponent's Stonjourner deck. And that's gonna do it for the games. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy the video, give it a like, enjoy the content, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.